Hello, guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, everyone who is joining the class.
Good morning.
Good morning to everyone. Let's start connecting our cameras. Beautiful. This is our second class. Class number 2 of the unit e-marketing communications. So the idea of this class is to evaluate, is to assess your current skills and knowledge in this particular marketing and communications area. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes.
Is it clear what is the plan of our class? I'm going to repeat it so we are all in the same line. I need to evaluate, I need to assess your current skills and knowledge in a particular area of marketing that is called e-marketing communications. This is digital marketing. This is online marketing. And I need to find out if you have enough skills and knowledge to pass this unit. Since this unit is part of the program, understanding that a marketer, a communications professional, without skills and knowledge in digital marketing will not be competitive. Will not be competitive. What is the meaning of that? It's going to be very, very difficult for that person to find a job in marketing, very difficult. It is going to be very difficult for that person to establish a new business. So that's why we need to know about e-commerce. That's why we need to know about digital marketing. That's why we need to know about digital advertising. That's why we need to know about publishing online or online publishing. That's why we need to know about the legal, the company frameworks, policies, and procedures for us to publish online advertising or online communications. So it is very important that we get that we have skills and knowledge to understand that you cannot publish any online marketing communications without reading, without understanding what is the company's policy and procedures when it comes to someone publishing content that is representing the company's brand. All right. So now that we're clear on the purpose of the class, we need to start. So today we need to complete an online quiz. And that online quiz, it's not difficult, but you need to be really, really clear in your answers. Because this is not a subjective area. You know, the good thing about digital marketing, guys, is that it's not subjective, which means that it's very, very objective. There is not a space for, you have to deliver, because we have indicators, we have numbers, we have percentages, we have indicators that is telling a story about how our digital marketing is performing. So there is not a space for us to not be clear with our results. All right, so the question number 1, everyone please have the online quiz ready. The unit is 442. Just give me 1 second, I will find it. If someone has it already, can please that person read the question?
The first question would be, does the student have skills and knowledge to identify legal, technical, and organizational frameworks related to test requirements?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What I have is a little bit different. Can you? So Samuel, are you in the online quiz? Or in the observation?
I think I'm in the observation. Let me check. Oh. What? I think I submitted already. Yeah, I
Okay,
submitted.
okay, okay. So we work on this on our last class a little bit or what?
I think because on the last class they had to leave earlier. This
Yeah,
morning
you
I
work on
joined
it.
Accelerate, yeah, a little bit earlier, and I
All right.
completed.
So let's see. Anyway, you were here a good part of our previous class, and you're good at this. So let's see your answers, how they go. Anyone else? Anyone else can read the question to me? Online quiz. All right, I will read it. Question number 1. Please explain why it is essential. Why it is essential to identify legal, ethical, and organizational frameworks, policies.
Sorry, I cannot find the quiz. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Would you mind to share your screen with me, Ariadna? Okay. Okay. Well, there is only a lesson. The observation is not there. Okay. I guess then this is happening to everyone. I will have guys, you will need to give me 1 minute for me to organize this. But meanwhile, thank you, Ariadna. I will be fixing this. Meanwhile, guys, you need to think about why before publishing. That is the key word. Why before publishing, you need to know what are the policies, the procedures, the guidelines of a
Don't make a
company
mistake.
before you publish. So you need to tell me why that is important. All right. So meanwhile, I will be fixing this. This is a little bit of a technical problem. I will divide you in groups for you guys to answer that question. And Samuel, even if you already presented this, I would appreciate if you participate in the classroom too.
Yeah, okay.
So I will create 4 classes. Please join them. Give me 5 minutes. Okay, join your classes. Edgar, I will assign you to one of the groups. We need to answer why we need to know about what is the framework of the organization before publishing. Okay. All right, guys, please join your groups as soon as possible. We need to work on that question. sorry. Edgar, what question do you have?
Hi, teacher. Sorry, we've been lost. We don't know what are we doing.
All right, we need to find out, we need to discuss, listen up, why before publishing, that is the key word, why you need to know what is the company's policies and procedures regarding to e-marketing communications. Why before publishing a post, why before publishing an advertising piece, why you need to know, you as a marketing person in that company, why you need to know what are the company's policies and procedures when it comes to e-marketing communications. So you need to discuss with your classmates, Edgar, why that is really important in our profession, why this is part of the class, why this is part of the questions, why we need to know that. So the idea is that you guys discuss on that concept, and then, you know, you give me some indications that you have the knowledge required. Otherwise, I will explain it, but you have to try first. All right?
Yeah, thank you, teacher.
Thank you. Beautiful, guys. Thank you for coming back. Okay, so for that first question, just give me 1 second. For that first question of the quiz, I'm trying to fix the system to show it. But meanwhile, in the chat, I'm going to paste that question. So we will be working on this. I will try to fix the technical problem, but it's not easy. Hasn't been easy. So that is the first question of the quiz. Please have a look. Please have a look in the chat. Meanwhile, I will try to fix it. I need you guys to answer that. All right. I need you guys to answer that. And I need you guys to give me your opinion, your perspective about that question in the chat. All right. Save that answer because you will be answering that in the platform once it is fully fixed for that particular, because it's not working. But have a look at the chat. I need you guys to answer that question. So you can do it in the camera if you want, or you can write it in the chat. All right, but I need you guys to give me an answer.
It's quite easy because we saw it in the past units. So basically, we need to pay attention to the legal and technical and organizational frameworks.
Yeah, but why?
First of all, because each country has their own legal rules, so we need to be careful what we're publishing. In addition, if we talk about like internal rules, every company has their own rules and processes. So we need to make sure that everything we're publishing is matching the company filters or rules. Just in order to avoid making mistakes.
So that is one very important thing. Is that the only reason? No, but it's a very important one though. So we need to observe companies' policies and procedures before publishing any content online? Yes. Why it is important? Because we need to follow the rules of that organization. So that is extremely right. That is correct, but it's not the only reason. I need more reasons. I need more reasons, guys. All right. So start thinking. Thank you, Samuel. You have participated enough for this question, but that's a really good reason. But I need more reasons. It's not the only reason. So I'm going to Valeria, go ahead.
It could be as well to avoid, like a tool for avoiding of preventing legal and social problem after that. So yeah, it is a really necessary tool for avoiding that kind of consequences for the employer and the company. That might change, depends on the country that you're working on, depends on the industry that you're working on. So that will be like a really useful tool for avoiding that kind of situation.
All right, so that is the second reason. All right, so but it's still we need one more reason, but we are in the right path. All right, so Samuel has said we need to know before publishing, we need to know the policies and procedures of the company, so we don't do anything that is against that company's brand, values, and so on. All right, so from the company's perspective, fine. From the public perspective, from the legal perspective, that is Valeria's argument, all right, which is we also need to know what is the current framework. What is the current framework? What is the current legislation in that particular area, in that particular city, in that particular state, before you publish, For example, in Australia, you cannot publish any advertising related to smoking, all right? So in Australia, we can't do that. Now, I will ask you something. Do you guys know what is formula, like formula milk, like for babies? You understand what I'm talking about, everybody?
Yeah, it's a product for, it's not like milk, I think.
Yeah. It's
similar, right?
Yeah, it's a product that is a substitute. It is a substitute of, like natural milk from the baby's mom. All right. So since that is the situation, we have that product, which is formula formula, milk formula. My question to you is, can you in Australia advertise a product related to that industry, yes or no? What do you think?
I think no.
No, it's not possible. Why? Because there is legislation in Australia that stops any advertiser to promote a product that is related to that industry. Why? Because in Australia, well, there is a perception about that product that may demotivate mothers or expecting mothers to breastfeed their children. It's not up to us to judge that situation, but it is up to us to acknowledge that situation. And that's why we need to pay attention to advertising and to the policies that regulate advertising in Australia before we do anything. I'm going to give you another example, and thank you for paying attention. The word free, you know, in Australia, you cannot use it. You cannot use the word free in Australia. You understand what I mean? What word you need to use instead? Give me examples. Give me examples.
Probably without cost or out of cost.
Well done. What else?
No
What
value.
else?
Probably.
Well done. Exactly right. Well done. That's what I'm talking about. So we need to observe that legislation in Australia before we do something that is against that legislation, like buy one hamburger and the second one is free. That does not relate to Australian regulation. But if you say buy one hamburger, second one is bonus, right? That is the word that you can use. You got it? Because it is understood that nothing is for free. You know what I mean? Someone needs to pay for it. Someone, the advertiser, the sponsor, the company, the client indirectly through, for example, a partnership or subscription model. But somehow someone has to pay for it. Is it clear? So we need to observe those legislations before we publish. So far we have two reasons. The first one, the company's policies and procedures. The second one, the legal framework. We still need one more reason. Any idea? Still need one more reason.
Santi, I think that, well, I don't know if it's one of the reasons, but it's very important, like, for us to take into account all of these legal, ethical, and the organizational fragments first, because it's important when you're going to talk about public relations, like the PR in a company, and that's very important, and it goes hand by hand with the social media and the marketing team. You have to work together, like, to make a really good strategy for social media, for a strategy for whatever you want, for design and all of that. So it's very important, like, to take that into account. Because if you don't work like hand by hand with all the departments that have to, like, are the creative department, you're not going to do a right work, right? So you need to always, like, take into account all the policies, all the steps that the company is doing for you to create something that goes aligned, like, with the main goal of the company.
That's it. Align it to the main goal of the company. That is it. Align it to the main goal of the company, all right? That is the vision, which is something that we need to share internally, not externally. Internally, not externally. I want you guys to understand, everybody needs to know that vision, okay? But internally, we don't want the competitors to know that vision. So everything that we do in terms of publishing marketing collaterals, in terms of publishing promotions, in terms of publishing communications, are all pointing to the vision. They are all supporting that vision. They are all, accelerating that vision. So we need to observe those companies' policies. Secondly, we need to observe the legal framework of that city, of that state, of that country before we publish something, because we don't want to be breaking the law, isn't it? But there is another reason, guys. There is another reason why we need to stop and observe the advertising. and find out if we need to discuss it with someone else. We have discussed it with the community, which is, you know, the town, the city, the country, you know, the stakeholders that will be affected by that advertising, that will be touched, customers. We know that we are not breaking any law. We have consulted with co-workers, with managers, you know, with human resources departments, with the legal department of the company, and they say, you know what, no problem, this is all good. From a legal perspective, we are not breaking any local law, but still we need to discuss the advertising with someone else before we publish it. And I need you guys to give me that.
Is it the client, teacher?
Exactly, man. Exactly. We need to define what is the client. And that client could be someone that will be buying from us. All right. And we need to find out, we need to do a study, we need to do a research about what will be the impact of that advertising on that client. But also we need to assess a client from the perspective of a supplier. All right. A supplier that is collaborating with that product, that is participating in that development, needs to know what the advertising will be all about for that supplier to approve it, to be okay sharing the co-branding of that product, for that supplier to be okay, you know, being a partner of the company's advertising. You understand what I mean? So it's very important to acknowledge the client, regardless if the client is the customer, the person that will be, you know, paying for the product, or if it is the supplier, and even, guys, even the company's competitors. Sometimes there is agreements. I need you guys to understand this. Sometimes there is agreements for companies not to mention competitors. And sometimes there is agreements, and those agreements will say, yes, you can mention competitors, no problem. Do you understand what I mean? For example, the battle between Coca-Cola and Pepsi, you know that battle, yeah? In some countries, you can name. I mean, you are Pepsi, you can name, you can show the Coca-Cola brand, the Coca-Cola product in the advertising that will be published. But in other countries, you cannot do this. You understand what I mean? So this is important. You cannot launch, you cannot publish advertising or communications without first asking companies, directors, companies, human resources, companies, stakeholders, companies, lawyers, hey, is this okay against our company's policies and procedures? Yes or no? Yes, 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 okay. A good chunk of it, solve it. Second chunk, all right, let's talk to the public. Let's talk to the city's mayor. Let's talk to people that knows the legislation of this particular place at public level, not at private level, because the company is private, public, government, and so on, regulators, and so on. So we need to find out if we are not breaking any local law. All right, beautiful. Second part, third part, client. How my client will react to this advertising. My competitors, can they sue me? Can they sue me because I'm saying something that I shouldn't? All right. I am representing my partners, my suppliers to best advantage. Because if you are not representing your supplier to best advantage, if you are not representing your potential customer to best advantage, if you're not taking advantage of how is the competitive environment in that particular place before you publish something, so you are not taking your advertising to the next level, you are missing marketing budget, you are not optimizing what you have. So for this question, guys, I think I have explained it properly. If you don't understand it, you need to let me know. But I hope that I have explained this properly, and you need to answer that. So keep your answer in an email document or something, because I need to fix the problem with the system. But keep it. But what I want as an answer, I want, all right, before I publish, I need to observe first, what is the company's policies and procedures? Second, what is the local legislation? Third, What is the impact on my client, being my client customers, competitors, and suppliers and partners? If you can explain that to me, guys, that means that you have skills and knowledge against that particular element. All right, good. All right, question number 2. Question number 2. Let's see. Question number 2, 1 second. Have a look at the chat. Have a look at the chat. So what are some examples? What are some examples of electronic advertising methods that you may use in your e-marketing? All right. So you don't need to select anything at this moment, but we need to list some electronic advertising methods that we may use. All right. Examples. Please, one example. You can give me an example of what electronic advertising is. You can give me an example of an electronic advertising method, or you can give me an example of what is not an electronic advertising method. All right. So think about it, please. All right. So again, join your groups, and please discuss question number 2. I will give you 5 minutes for that. Second. Join your groups now, guys, and answer the question number 2.
Hi, Santi. This is the group, or I haven't received any link.
Let me see.
Yeah, same.
Mm.
And I think I can have access to today's lesson.
Yes, but the problem is with the online quiz.
Yeah, the BSBMKG442 conduct
Yeah?
an image. Yeah, I can do it. It's allowing me to view it.
Oh, that's good. At least, yeah, probably it's starting to work for some of you. I am doing some little fixes here, so it's nice to hear that.
So I can just like type in here, right?
Please.
Okay.
All right, we need to work in question number 2. Anyway, so join your groups. All right, please join your groups, guys. Okay, all right, beautiful. Question number 2. Please give me some example. Give me some examples. So give me something that is not an example of e-marketing communications or methods, please. Come on, guys, it's your turn.
Email.
All right, so email could be used, but only if we use it as EDM. I'm going to write it in the chat. EDMs. Anyone knows what is an EDM?
What's the name?
What is an EDM, guys? So we can use emails, but only if they have the EDM format, if they are done in that fashion, using that method, the EDM method.
Electronic direct email.
Yep.
Encrypted direct messages.
Electronic direct mails, direct mails, which means you have a database. You have a database. So before you send the email, you need to have a database. And you send that email to that database. What you don't do, unless you are selling a diamond, unless you are selling a building, unless you are selling something that is extremely high-end, very luxurious, you don't send the email to one customer, which is email. So you send the emails to a database of customers. Is that clear? When we send the emails to a database of customers, what we need to use as a method is not email, it's something that is called EDMs, which stands for electronic direct mails. That system will allow you to define and measure who receives the email, who opens the email, who reads the email, who acts on that email. And that information will be very, very helpful for you to assess the success of that email campaign. Understood?
Yes.
Understood? That is a very important one. Very important one. Second one that is extremely important. Website banners, website sliders. So some websites that are popular, they sell their real estate. They sell spaces in their websites, in their banners, in their sliders for other companies to publish e-marketing communications, all right? Some websites, they follow that model to make money. Other websites, they just support their finances, offering some advertising space, right? So websites are really good to publish electronic advertising. Banners, web banners, they are not as popular as they were before, but before social media, they were everywhere. You know, pop-up banners, very annoying. You know, the pop-up, that we don't do that, by the way. Remember that we don't do anything that is annoying in our marketing. And the pop banner is intrusive. Why is intrusive? Because you need to press that little X button for that window to close. And that is not okay. That is not what we do, right? What we do is we have a landing page that people get to that landing page because they really want to know more about our offerings, because they trust in our brand and they click on a hyperlink. So then they go to that landing page. That landing page is very clean. We don't have the menu of our website. We don't have other pages. That landing page only serves one purpose and only one purpose. And that purpose is to retrieve customers' information. So in the landing page, you retrieve customer information and you give the customer a piece of your product, a piece of your knowledge, for they to continue the relationship and become a customer at the end of the journey. So that's how we do it. That's how we do it, all right? We use landing pages, pop-up banners, even though that is an advertising method, we can't do that. We cannot do that. Why not? Because it is intrusive. And as I explained in our previous classes, we don't do intrusive marketing. We do the opposite. What is the opposite of intrusive? We do permission marketing. So intrusive marketing and permission marketing. Intrusive marketing also is highly related to outbound marketing. Outbound, you're yelling, you are invading, you are just placing yourself in front of your customers all the time, you are invasive. That is outbound. You're noisy, you have this big ego. That is outbound marketing. What is the opposite of outbound marketing?
Inbound marketing.
Inbound. And inbound marketing is the marketing that we do, that we professionals do, that we good marketing people do. Some people hate marketing. Fair enough. Some companies, they abuse outbound. Some companies only use outbound, and outbound is nasty, it's aggressive. We are educated, we are good, we are refined. We don't need to do that. We're better than that. So instead of yelling, we create a relationship, we develop it. We do inbound marketing. What is inbound marketing? You offer value first. You create the relationship second. And at the end of the journey, you get a customer that probably will become a supporter of your brand, which is what we all want. We want customers supporting our brand. Takes more time inbound? Yes, it takes more time. But it's more effective. All right, good. So another examples of direct marketing communications, please. Social media. Sorry, electronic advertising methods. Sorry, social media. You can use social media to advertise. So if you use LinkedIn, you will have something that is called sponsored post. So you pay to LinkedIn for that post to be more visible. And you can do the same with other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So advertising on social media is a good idea, but you need to be careful with it. All right, you need to be careful with it. Remember, you don't want to overwhelm your potential to target market with advertising. You don't want to give the perception that you spend too much money on advertising. You don't want to give that perception, because advertising alone is not good. You also need publicity, which is when people is talking about how good you are. And that doesn't happen with money. It happens with real good customer service. It happens with real good quality products. All right, cool. All right, cool. Another one, I need you guys to start getting more familiar with something that is called search engine marketing. Search engine marketing. All right. Search engine marketing is important for us marketing people. What is the opposite to search engine marketing? Anyone knows?
SEO.
SEO, search engine optimizations. Well done. So search engine optimization, you don't spend money. You develop a more sharp, accurate website. You optimize that website for the engines, Google, Yelp, Yahoo, to reach the content in your website. So you optimize it. You do search engine optimization. That is not expensive. Sometimes if you do it yourself, it's free. But you need to be very careful with what you do online. So your images are all original. Your text is connected to keywords that represent the industry. So the words that your customers will be using when looking for someone like you, if you have those keywords in your copy, in your website, that is good search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is that your website runs well, that your website has an SSL certificate, HTTPS, not only HTTP. When you see a website with HTTP, that website is not secure. So when a website is not secure, what information you don't provide? Tell me, guys. When a website is not secure, what information you don't provide?
The email, probably.
Like, you don't provide your bank account, you don't provide like any
Exactly right.
information.
So when a website is not HTTPS, only HTTP, you don't provide that information because that information is not encrypted. It's not protected, which means that that website is not fulfilling the ultimate reason why we use websites. We use websites, don't forget about this. We use websites to sell. That's why we use websites. We use social media to communicate. We use social media to sell. So a very important part of the optimization of your website when you do search engine optimization is to have an HTTPS, which means that your website is protecting customers' information. Customers' most sensitive information, which is banking and financial information, though. So that's why I'm talking. That's why I'm talking. I'm talking about, do you understand that you need to do search engine optimization and you need to use it as advertising method? Why? Because Google itself is an advertising method. What is the best advertising? People looking for information and you are there. That is fantastic. You need to pay to Google to appear there artificially. Yes, search engine marketing. You don't need to pay to Google because your website is optimized. Good, search engine optimization. So this understanding is extremely important for you guys. You will be developing this as we advance. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Start refreshing your platforms because I reckon that now you guys have access to that quiz. All right, meanwhile, let's go to the question number 3. All right, let's go to the question number 3. So in the chat, please. In the chat, question number 3. So question number 3, what factors should an organization consider when selecting media? Selecting media for which purpose? Selecting media for electronic online advertising. So which factors, what factors should a company consider before they select that electronic advertisement media method? What factors? Give me one, quickly. What factors a company should consider before saying they will do online, or they will do television, or they will do optimization in the website, or they will do search engine marketing, or they will do EDMs? What factors they need to consider?
The clients, the type of the clients.
The target market. So the target market has to be considered, because if your target market, they don't use emails because they're in the factory all the time, because they're in the farm all the time. A lot of people don't use emails daily, you know? So if that's your target market and you use emails, you use EDMs, that is the wrong strategy, that is the wrong method. So understanding the target, your target market uses TikTok, they don't use LinkedIn, all right. So obviously you will be using TikTok in that case. Your target market uses LinkedIn, not TikTok, all right. So you create your advertising to fit LinkedIn style. Another factor that you need to consider before selecting an advertising method, please. That is a really good one, your target market. What else? What else? You guys, we need to participate. Remember that we explained, we talked about this the last class, all right? So what else? And now we need to assess the budget. Perhaps the most important one, Isabel. Perhaps the most important one. Seriously. I mean, if you want to advertise in Google, well, you need to have a budget for it. If you want to advertise in YouTube, if you want to advertise in LinkedIn, if you want to advertise in a newspaper website, if you want to advertise in someone else's business, if you want to advertise in Amazon, if you want to advertise in a government website that has a space for it, if you want to advertise in the community website of your local neighborhood, if you want to advertise in an organization's network of companies, if you want to advertise in sports, if you want to advertise in research, if you want to advertise in events. So what is the online budget for you to support that event? So if you want to advertise, using alternative communication methods, all right, like something that is different to what everybody else is doing in that company, what is the budget in that industry? Sorry, what is the budget for it? So the budget is a big decision component. Well done. So we have the budget, we have the target market. What else we need to consider, please? We need to consider what the competition is doing. What the competition is doing in that particular channel. For us to minimize the impact of that advertising too, for us to minimize the impact of that communication too. So what is the competitor doing? We need to analyze that. We need to, as a factor, we need to analyze that. We need to think as well, what would be the reach of our advertising? What do I mean by that? When I say the reach, what I'm talking about? When I say what is the reach of our advertising, what I'm talking about? Do you feel comfortable using the word reach? Tell me, what is that? What do you understand by the word reach? Why reach is important in online advertising? Why that element, reach, is important?
Vale.
What is that, Vale? What is the reach? Come on, guys.
How many people are we reaching with our product, with our strategy?
No, with our online advertising. The question is about online advertising. So we're talking about reach. How many people can we reach? Okay. What do we use for that? What do we use for us to select a group of people? We use variables. For us
We
to
select
define
parameters.
example.
Parameters to choose the target. We can separate them by social, cultural, communities, economical.
Yeah, but that is the target market that we
Situation.
already, yes, that's true. But we already talk about that from the customer's perspective. But the reach means, are you going to be launching this advertising only in Melbourne, or in Victoria, or in Australia, or in Asia Pacific, or in the world? So when you use Google ads, when you use Facebook ads, they will ask you, what is the reach of your online advertising? And the question is asking you, do you want people in Melbourne to see this advertising when they go online, when they go to Google, or when they go to one of the Google's network affiliated websites, which are by the hundreds? That is a huge network. You believe me, guys, it's huge. Well, if you select Melbourne, then the engine will be presenting those results to people in Melbourne, but not in Sydney. You understand what I mean? You need to think about it. What is the difference then? What is, if you have an advertising campaign, what factor will be impacted if you decide to advertise in Australia, not just in Melbourne? What factor will be affected? What factor will be affected, Valentina? Valentina? What factor will be affected? Okay, bye, Valentina. Okay, guys, we need to participate, all right? Saturn luck. What factor will be affected? Saturn luck. What factor will be affected if we decide to advertise in Australia, not just in Melbourne? Saturn luck is not here as well. Guys, if you are not here, no problem. You need to access the class using the recording. But please, if you're in the class, I need you present. All right, Ampini, you here? Sabrina?
So I may be wrong, but the regulations or things change like really drastically between states. So it will have to be very broad if you want to do it all over Australia instead of just one state.
Well done, well done. So you need to observe the legislation across the entire country, not just in the state. Well done. Also, and that's the most important one, the factor that will be affected is the budget. What is more expensive, to advertise to people in Melbourne or to advertise to people all over the country? It is more expensive to advertise to people all over the country. So you need to consider those factors as well.
So the target market, no, be affected.
100%.
Not in everything it will be affected.
100%. We need to observe those elements before defining what will be the reach of our advertising, what is the target market of our advertising. It depends on us. We need to tune it, the frequency of it. How important is the frequency? If you're advertising as a frequency, a daily frequency, imagine that budget, how it will be affected, but the impact will be higher, of course. What about if the frequency is monthly? What about if the frequency is yearly? All right, so it is important to analyze the frequency of that online advertising as well. So factors, don't forget about them, the frequency, the timing, the budget, the target market, the legislation. Okay, all right. Thank you, Sabrina, for letting me know. If you cannot attend the class live with the cameras, with your microphone, you just need to let me know. Santi, I am doing something else which is extremely important, but I'm listening to your class, and that's good. That makes me feel good. We just need to communicate, okay? All right, beautiful. So let's go to the question number 4. Just give me 1 second. For the question number 4, we need to discuss a second. For the question number 4, it's very similar to the question number 3, but there is a little bit of a difference, and I'm going to explain it. So what are the factors that should be considered when selecting e-marketing platforms? So now we're talking about platforms for advertising according to the task requirements. What is the task? Remember, the task is the activity that we do, the minimum activity or labor or work that we do in marketing. That is a task. So some tasks, they have a requirement or they have a set of requirements. Budget, time-wise, resources-wise. We need to know who is doing the task, when the task will be done, and what needs to be accomplished. So we need to observe that. We need to know the task in detail. We need to know the task in detail. What is that we want to achieve? What is the role of that task when we are trying to achieve that? All right, and in that order of ideas, which is, all right, now I understand what is the task. What factors should be considered when selecting the e-marketing platform? Examples: the audience, the target audience, the target market. Example, the budget. We talk about that in the question number 3. We have some common factors with question number 4. So the target audience, the target market, the available budget, the available resources that we have. But the only difference with question number 3 is that here we're talking about platforms. So we also need to know what is the platform security, what is the platform terms and conditions for us to use that platform. What will happen with our content? We will be the owners of the content, or once we publish that content, the platform will be owning that content. We need to know that. What is the integration of that online platform with other platforms? So how can you use that platform in conjunction with other technologies? You need to have that in consideration. That is 1. You need to know the target audience. That is 2. You need to know the task requirements, the resources that you have, timing that you have, who is responsible for that. That is 3. You need to know what is the budget, of course. But we also need to know what is the platform security, what is the privacy policy, who will be owning the content. Guys, I guess that you know that some social media platforms, when you publish content on them, they own the content that you publish. So you need to be aware of it for you to know if you want to use it or not. So you need to consider those factors: privacy, who is owning the content, what is the budget, what is the task requirement, and so on. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Let's continue with this. Question number 5. All right, now we're talking about marketing platforms. Marketing platforms. Examples of marketing platforms, please. Examples of marketing platforms.
Instagram, 100%.
TikTok, Facebook.
But all of that are social media platforms that are very important for us. But we're talking about marketing platforms. So there are some platforms out there in which, or that we can use to develop our marketing campaigns, to develop our e-marketing campaigns. Example, Salesforce. Salesforce is a really good platform. Example, Marketo. Example, WooCommerce. Example, Shopify. Example, WordPress. Example, and my favorite one, HubSpot. So you need to be aware of those platforms. You need to know they exist. You need to know how they work, not to the detail, of course, but generally speaking, do you know how to access that platform website? Do you know what is the cost of that platform? Do you know what is the capability of that platform? You know what you can do with it? You know how many uses? You know the packages that you may have. You know the support of that platform. You know how is the customer service of that platform. You know how you can integrate that platform with other technologies like Outlook, or like Google AdWords, or platforms like ClickView or Pardot or Power BI. What is the connectivity of that platform? What is the cost of you using that platform? So you need to evaluate that. If you are working in marketing, in a marketing department, and you don't have the capability to propose a project to the company, for the company to select which marketing platform is the best, then you don't have idea what you're doing. You need to propose that, and you need to say, hey, company, we have HubSpot here, $3,000 per month, 1,000 users. We can use it across all our websites. We have Salesforce here, $6,000, 1,000 users, but we cannot integrate it with everything else. We need to be more careful when we connect properties. And you have this third one, which is, I don't know, $1,000, but it's not well supported. The customer service is horrible. So you need to present that business case to the company for the company to select one e-marketing platform. What I'm trying to achieve with this question is that you understand that you have to select an e-marketing platform when you do marketing in 2023. There is no excuse. If you don't have any marketing platform, you cannot compare previous campaigns with current campaigns. If you don't have an e-marketing platform, you cannot compare websites. You cannot compare how they perform at the same time. You need to go one by one. If you have a platform, you check all of them at the same time and you can see which one is working better. You have an e-marketing platform, you can find out what your competitors are writing about you. If you have an e-marketing platform, you can find out in a report what the customers are writing in social media about you. If you have an e-marketing platform, you can compare the results of previous campaigns with current campaigns. And you can find out if the current one is working better or not. If you have an e-marketing platform, you can publish simultaneously in different social media channels. You know what I mean? And that is important because you're saving time, you're optimizing resources. So the good marketing person is not that one that goes to the company and goes and say, what is the Facebook? What is the Facebook administration username and the password? And then what is the Google? And then what is the YouTube? No, you don't do that. What is the administration login of the platform? What is the password? Because from that platform, you access everything else in the company. You understand what I mean, guys? You understand what I mean? You need to have access to a platform that is connected to all the digital properties. What are the digital properties? Websites, social media, landing pages, Google, blah, 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 blah. So if you cannot access everything at the same time from one only entry point, your marketing is not optimized for e-marketing. You are not doing a good job. Why we are doing this part? Why we are assessing this skill? Because I need you guys to go to the company the first day and ask, what is our e-marketing platform? Oh, we don't have one. What? You don't have? So how do you do this? Oh, we do this like everybody else. This is not everybody else. This is a company. Companies use a platform like HubSpot or Salesforce. So your next project will be proposing the company to have a platform. Okay. I don't know if you understand how important is this. But this is what is expected when you accept a marketing role. Or this is what is expected when you start doing your own business. You need to start with a marketing platform. It's not expensive, by the way. Usually you charge, or you are charged by subscription, using subscription models, and you are charged by the number of people that you have in a database. So if you have 1,000 contacts, you get charged 1,000 contacts, whatever package. If you have 4,000 contacts, which is really good, imagine if you have 4,000 contacts in your database, which is really good, then of course you are selling, you are doing well. Well, the company that is providing that platform for you to use should also grow with you. So the package will be more expensive because you are servicing 4,000 contacts, not 1,000. And then you have corporate and you have 10,000 contacts in one package. One service package. That is great, but it's going to be more expensive. But what I'm telling you is that if you are small, you access entry-level packages that are very affordable. I'm talking about $50, $100 per month. So we need to invest in digital marketing. That's what I want you guys to discuss for that question. Beautiful, guys. All right, so we are doing well. That is the question number 5. All right, so we're halfway through the online quiz. Let's have a 10 minutes break. And after the break, we continue from the question number 6 to the question number 10. And then we move to the observation assessment. And with that, we finish the class. Okay. So 10 minutes break. All right, guys, let's get back to the class. So let's all go to the question number 6. Question number 6. So in the chat, I will be pasting the question number 6. Also, you have the online quiz working already. So question number 6 goes like, when performing e-marketing at your workplace, it is necessary to confirm that e-marketing meets all the task specifications. True or false? So what are the task specifications? I'm going to repeat them. The tasks are specified in 3 variables. One is what is the cost of that task? What is the time frame? What is the duration of that task? And what are the resources that we have to complete that task? So resources, the budget, and the duration. So before we select the e-marketing communication, before we approve it, we need to find out if it matches that platform in terms of the task requirement. What are the task requirements? What is the budget that we have? That platform is too expensive for us, all right, so that is not the platform for us. What is the duration? What is the time frame of that communication? That time frame is 3 weeks. All right, so probably this social media channel or probably that website is ideal. We need to find out in terms of the duration of the task, what is the best e-marketing communication, and also the resources. What are the resources? Resources are divided in 2, don't forget about this. Human resources and technological resources. So what technology we have available in the workplace to use that method? Oh, we have a really good platform. We can access all the analytics. We can access all the indicators. All right, that's good. Do you have people as well that understand those reports? Do you have people as well that can use those platforms? So the task requirement means what is the budget for you to complete that task? What is the duration of the task? What is the resource that you have available? And that resource being understood by people and technology. So we need to confirm that. We need to confirm if the task requirement is aligned to the method that we use. So that is true. We need to confirm that. And if the confirmation is not working, then we need to find an alternative scenario for that advertising to be published, of course. All right, that one is a very easy one. Now let's go to question number 7. So question number 7, why it is important to present electronic advertisements to management before we finalize that advertisement, before we publish that advertisement. So why before we publish that advertisement in a platform like HubSpot or in other platforms, why we need to pass it through management? Why? Why? Yeah, go ahead, Samuel.
Make sure everything is okay and we're not making mistakes.
Because once published, that is it. So we need to pass it through the legal department. We need to pass it through our director. We need to pass it through our manager. We need to pass it through our supervisor. We need to pass it through our marketing team. We need to pass it through a group of stakeholders that are related to the business, like customers baselines, customers mini databases, customers study groups. We need to pass it through current legislation for us to find out, all right, is this advertising worthy to be published? Worthy against the risk of we publishing it? Okay, yes, it is worthy to be published. Let's publish it. Once you press that button, which is called publishing or go live, Once you press that button, then that is something that you cannot retrieve. You cannot get backwards. So be very careful. Be very careful. When you have newsletters, before you send the newsletter to your people, to your target market, make sure that the newsletter is completely verified by your stakeholders. That's what I mean. All right. So the purpose of this question is that you understand that always, not sometimes, but always that you go to a marketing department and you need to publish something online, you need to ask supervisors, managers, directors, stakeholders, do you agree with this? Do you have anything to comment? Otherwise, sign it. So you have a paper that you go and you pass through all these departments, they sign it, and that is what will protect you if something goes wrong. But if you don't do this, you will be accountable for that decision. And you are not an accountable person since you are not a director. So the director is accountable, you are responsible. The director's signature is required for that accountability to operate. If the director didn't sign it, then you are accountable and you may be out, you may be suspended, you may be fired because you are not following the protocols. So the purpose of this question is simple. You always ask before you publish. You always ask for feedback before you publish. All right, question number 7, simple but extremely important. All right, for the question number 8, we have a little bit of a case study. All right, so let's have a look at it. I'm going to copy that little case study in the chat. We're going to read it and we'll be talking about it. Let me see if I can do that. So let's read first the case study. Just give me 1 second. All right, let's read the case study. It is in your quiz and also in the chat. Jane is a marketing manager at a large online retailer. So Jane is a marketing manager, medium management, not low level, not high level. What is low level? Operators, coordinators, officers, medium level managers, top level directors. So Jane is marketing manager, medium level. Okay, now we know that. We also know that is the marketing manager of a large operation, large, complex online retailer. So what happens with these large retailers? They have policies, they have procedures, they are very well governed. So we now know that, all right? Now, she is responsible for creating and managing the company's e-marketing campaign, all right? So what is the most important thing here? We're talking about campaigns. What is a campaign, though? Do you guys understand what a campaign is? What is the particular about a campaign? What is unique about it? What is a marketing campaign? Tell me.
It's temporal. It's not always there.
That's it. Thank you, Samuel. That is the most important thing about a campaign. When you think about a campaign, I want you to think about a temporary endeavor. Temporary endeavor. Temporary. All right, so now we're talking about a temporary endeavor. Okay, cool. And Jane, which is the marketing manager, is responsible for these temporary endeavors that we call campaigns, which means that all campaigns have a beginning, but also all campaigns have an end, which means that all campaigns have a budget, which means that all campaigns have a duration. All right, now we understand what she does. Good. Now, recently, the company's launched a new advertising campaign, a new one recently, a fresh one, isn't it? To promote the company's latest products. So what Jane did is, all right, she created a series of electronic advertisements and submit them to the e-marketing platform for distribution. All right. However, a few days later, after the campaign was launched, so however, a few days later, after the campaign was launched, she noticed that there were some errors in the advertisements. Some of the product descriptions were incorrect, and a few of the links were broken. Jane immediately alerted her team about that situation and worked with the platform technical support team to rectify the errors. All right. She's been reactive, isn't it? She's been reactive to the situation. Now, she monitored the transmission process closely to ensure that the correct advertisements were reaching the intended audience. All right, so once fixed, she's checking that everybody's been informed about the right prices, about the right methods, about the right products, about the right distributions, whatever is the case. All right, as a result, the campaign was able to achieve its target, and the company is receiving a positive feedback. So she was able to fix that. How? Being reactive to the situation, but that is not ideal, guys. That is, she was able to fix it, okay, good, but that is not ideal. Why is not ideal? Because she didn't consult it. Because she didn't consult it. So for that particular case study, we need to answer the following question. For that particular case study, we need to answer the following question, which will be pasted in the chat now. So why it is important for Jane to monitor the transmission of electronic advertisements and rectify the errors? Why? Why it is important? Because she is accountable now for those errors. Because she did not consult with the stakeholders, because she did not pass that advertisement through management. Now she needs to find a solution for it. Now she's accountable. That's what I need you guys to understand. The mistake was made, you still need to fix it. What is the question number one? Sorry, the previous question was, for this not to happen, you need to pass it through management and supervisors and directors and lawyers and so on. But no, you didn't do that. It was published. What you need to do then? You need to rectify that. So that's what you need to explain in that particular question, please. All right, for the next question, I will give you a second case study. About Jack. So I'm going to write that case study in the chat. You also have it in the online quiz now. And you will be discussing this with your team before we talk about it. All right. So please read the case study about Jack in the chat of our classroom. And now I will be dividing you in the breakout rooms. Join your groups, please, and discuss that case study. Okay, guys, what can you tell me about Jack? What can you tell me about Jack? What do you think? What have you learned from that business case study about Jack?
After doing the campaign, with all the information that he got, he used it to make improvements for the future campaigns.
That's
And
what it is.
the way he collected data is by using KPIs. And yeah.
That's it. That's it. So we're measuring the campaign, but why we measuring the campaign? We measuring the campaign not because of the report. What is the point of the report if there is not action behind that report? So what is the action? The action is to improve coming future campaigns. This is a continuous improvement exercise in marketing. So it is a constant. It is expected that the next advertisement is better than the previous one. It is expected. Why? Because we have a program that is based on continuous improvement methodologies for our advertising to be optimized every time a new one is launched. That is the point. So if these are the lessons that we learned, this is we're learning about our previous good results and bad results. If we don't have this system, then our marketing is not good because our marketing will be always immature, always immature. So what is a mature organization? What is the style of a mature digital organization? An organization that is mature digitally. How you can tell? How you can tell?
I would say you can recognize as mature marketing company when they improve always. After each campaign, they improve. They have so many data gathered. They follow the steps of research correctly, you know, and always give you feedback about the campaigns.
Well done, buddy. Well done. That's it. They are taking advantage of that new knowledge. They are taking advantage of that data as a result of the marketing campaign. They are using that data. But again, it's not just to generate reports. It's for us to predict what could happen next campaign, so we tune it for that prediction. That's how we do it. We need to be one step forward. We need to use data to predict coming behaviors in terms of purchasing, in terms of competitiveness. Has to be like that. So we use data. We also use knowledge. I'm not telling you that you don't use your own knowledge, your own experience, no. But a good marketing professional nowadays uses both personal knowledge and data. Not only data though, but not only knowledge either. It's not enough. You know, that's why a marketing person that is not using online marketing, is not using data, is not a marketing person anymore. I just need to be super clear with that. Still some people, oh, I don't need to know that because I'm very old and this. No. You have to know about this too. But this is the dynamic of the profession, is technologically driven more than ever now with artificial intelligence, isn't it? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool, beautiful, beautiful. So we have that one done too. You're very, very close. So we have one more. And this one is about Robert. So who is Robert? Robert is a marketing manager at Bunnings Warehouse. Guys, do you know Bunnings Warehouse?
No.
No, you haven't been at Bunnings. Anyone? No.
Yeah.
Bunnings is very important in Australia. All right? Very, very important. In Bunnings, I mean, you know, like there is a group, an economic group in Australia that is called West Farmers. The West Farmers Group. No one has seen that? No? All right. But you know Woolworths, guys?
Yes.
So Woolworths is a company, is a brand under the umbrella of Wesfarmers. So Wesfarmers is, I reckon, the largest employer in Australia. You understand what I mean? Wesfarmers is huge, huge. And they have under that umbrella companies like Woolworths, but also like Bunnings. So Bunnings Warehouse, you know Office Works?
Yes.
Same below that umbrella. So we're talking about a big operation here. We're talking about a big economical group. All right. Still, Bunnings Warehouse, they have a lot of issues. They have a lot of disadvantages when it comes to managing data. They don't use customers' data to create a customer profile to finance marketing campaigns. They are not taking advantage of it. So let's have a look at this case study. Robert is a marketing manager at Bunnings Warehouse. All right. What is Bunnings Warehouse? A home improvement retailer, the most important in Australia. All right. Now he is responsible. Robert is responsible for creating and managing the company's marketing campaigns, of course, because he's the marketing manager. So recently, the company launched a new advertising campaign to promote its latest range of outdoor furniture. All right, beautiful. So they just created a new campaign. They want to promote the outdoor furniture. Probably is, is the right timing just before summer. All right, cool. So he went, all right, I'm going to do this. All right, Robert evaluated the effectiveness of the campaign, how it went, by measuring the number of website visits first, number of people going to the website, and online purchases generated by the e-marketing activities. So how many people was going to the website? What is the number, the percentage of people that once in the website, they bought from the website? So he was analyzing this behavior, isn't it? Which is what we need to do. The reason why we read these case studies is for us to learn what to do in the practical scenario, in the real workplace. All right. So how many people went to the site? What percentage of them and buying what we sell? So based on the data he collected, he identified areas of improvement in the e-marketing strategy school. So the data is helping him to select, to improve future marketing strategies. All right, that's good. Such as targeting specific customer segments and using more engaging visuals. He noticed that the visuals of the marketing campaign were not delivering a promising result. So he then planned ways to enhance the effectiveness of the e-marketing strategies in the future. So now he has a plan for him to be able to make it better next time. So the question is, all right, so again, what is the case study? We have a Robert, someone that is a marketing manager. The marketing manager is responsible for the launching of the e-marketing campaigns. Yes. All right, so that is the context. What is the situation? The company recently launched a new campaign for outdoor furniture. All right, that is the situation. What is the resolution of the situation? Well, based on the data he collected, he found that he could do better next time. He found that he needs to have a plan to improve on coming in marketing communications and campaigns. So what is the purpose of planning for improvement? What is the purpose of we having this plan to improve? What do you guys think? Well, the purpose is to identify areas of improvement and how to enhance the effectiveness of our task. All right. Why? Again, because if we don't improve on those areas, they will be the weakest link in our process. And once it is broken, we may be affecting the quality of our products, the relationship with our customers, whatever the case is. So we need to fix that before it breaks something, all right? That's why we use this data just like Robert did. All right, guys. So as I said, not an easy online quiz, very practical. You really need to explain what I have disclosed in this assessment. Be logical. Use emotional intelligence, please. Place yourself in Robert's shoes. Jack's shoes, Jane's shoes, what they will do, what you would do in that situation, what have you heard somebody else is doing, what you will not do. You can answer that question with, all right, this is crazy, I will never do something like that, I will do instead blah blah blah. Good, you can answer the question like that as well, but please provide context. Very important as well, that if you are using ChatGPT or any artificial intelligence software to help you with your assessment, you need to let me know in the answer by telling me, by disclosing what question did you ask to ChatGPT. Is it clear? So you still can use artificial intelligence, but I will need to know what question, what is the input that you gave to the AI. Why? Because assessing that question, I also can assess if you are competent with the elements of this unit. But don't give me only the answer, because if you give me only the answer, the software will highlight your answer as being copied from artificial intelligence. That's something that you need to do. So if you want to give me something from AI, give me the question. That is better. All right, beautiful, beautiful, cool. So what we need to do now, let me check.
Something.
What is that, Vale?
I couldn't be able to answer correctly the question number 4. So I just wanted to ask you because
Let me go.
Double check that question number 4.
All right, for question number 4, what we need to know. So the question number 4 is asking us, what are some factors that should be considered when we select e-marketing platforms? So what factors? Target audience has to be considered. Demographics.
Available budget and resources.
Fantastic. Yes. Number 3, social media, no.
No, that no.
No, because that should not be what drives our decisions. We have other factors that have to be considered, not just the popularity. All right.
Platform security.
100% important, especially because we may be connecting. Yes, yes. Because we are connecting to our website too. We are connecting to our social media. We are connecting to a potential customer database of our company and so on and so on. So we need to know how secure is that platform and what is the privacy policies. Very important, and we need to pass that through the legal department. I want to insist for this particular unit, you need to understand that you need to be a good friend of the lawyer, the director of the legal department in the company. You know what I mean, guys? Like this one, this unit is about you being a good friend of the company's lawyer, the company's person in front of everything that is legal. Why? Because you need that person to approve your content, to approve your campaigns before they are published, because that is protecting you as a marketing person that is not accountable but responsible. You understand the difference between accountability and responsibility, guys? Is that clear?
Yep.
What is the difference? When you are accountable for something that you need to solve that problem with your own money or with your own person, name, you may end having to pay jail time because you are a company director. You are accountable for the company's decisions. But when you are a manager, when you are a supervisor, when you are a worker, you are not accountable. You are responsible for the task, not accountable for the direction. You understand what I mean? So if you don't comply with this process, you take ownership of that accountability. You know what I mean? It's super important. It's like you do something wrong, and if the company provides evidence that you did not consult with the law, with the legal department, then you are accountable. It was your decision. But if you consulted and something wrong happened, you are okay. You are responsible only. Super important to learn the difference between accountability and responsibility in all business programs in Australia, because that is how the country manages and processes hierarchies. in Australia. All right, directors, managers, workers. Directors accountable, managers responsible, workers do the operational work. That's how it works, all right? At least that is a model that keeps working. It may change, okay, probably in the service industry, but in the manufacturing industry, I doubt it. All right, cool. So what else? We also need to find out what is the integration.
Yeah, what about the integration of the with marketing channels?
Extremely important. Extremely important because it's all about connectivity. That's why I like WordPress. Because if you use WordPress, you can connect with plugins, something that is called plugins, your website to whatever you may imagine. I'm telling you, like WordPress is open source. So when you have open source, when a software is developed using the open source methodology and mindset, anyone can improve on that coding. Anyone can improve on that business model. And that creates a very powerful offering, which is WordPress. WordPress is the result of millions of people working in symphony to create the best platform. So that's what I'm talking about. If you are using HubSpot, can you connect HubSpot to your databases? Can you connect HubSpot to your visualization system like ClickView or like Pardot? Can you connect your HubSpot account with a predictive analytics software, like for example, Power BI? If the answer is yes, that is telling you that with that platform, you will have a scalability. Extremely important, isn't it? If you have a platform, you need to be able to scale the business model with that platform. If your business grows and the platform is not scalable, no good platform. But if the business grows and the platform grows with the business, good platform. So we need to be very, very careful with the selection of the platform, because from that point on, the company will be using that platform basically for everything marketing related, communications related. Recommendation HubSpot, I'm telling you guys, use it for a little bit, and then you will see what is marketing nowadays. Marketing is software. Beautiful. All right, guys. So any other question for that assessment?
Thank you, Santi. Everything is clear for me, Santi. Thank you.
Beautiful. Now, the last option for that question 4 is not good, which is marketing manager's perspective, personal preference. I told you, when it comes to social media and platforms, it's not about if we like it or if we dislike it. It is all about, will that platform engage with my database, with my customers, yes or no? It's not about if I like it. I really don't like when managers go, I don't like TikTok, that is for kids, that is for teenagers. Man, it's not about if you like it, please. But a lot of marketing managers, they make decisions in terms of what they like and what they dislike. That is very, very responsible. In marketing, we need to find out, we need to evaluate, again, is that engaging with my customers? Is that opportune for my customers? If it is interesting to my audience. Because if it's not interesting, if it's not engaging, if it's not opportune, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. We need to talk the languages of our customers, isn't it? We have to talk like them. We cannot expect them to talk like us. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people don't get into entrepreneurship, because everything is about permits, everything is about paperwork, everything is about policies, everything is about regulations, everything is about permits, everything is about new legislation, N432, whatever. So that's not the language that people speak in the marketplace. People speak in terms of engagement, in terms of negotiationships, but not in terms of legislation. We need to translate all of this to that audience. Can we do that? Oh, that's important. That's why we started this. All right, beautiful. So now let's go to the observation. The observation assessment is extremely important to me. It's a summative assessment, guys. I need to be very clear about it. What is a summative assessment? It means that it's taking in consideration what we did in the lesson and it's taking in consideration what we did in the quiz. You know what I mean? So the lesson and the quiz is like supporting evidence, but the assessment that is summatory in terms of this program is the observation. So for the observation, one more time, I need you guys to give me more. I need you guys to give me more because these assessments could be audited, and I need to have enough evidence that you know. Like I know that Samuel is participating and is active, but you need, in that assessment, you need to behave like the student that has not participated at all. Why? Because the auditor will be reading only what you wrote. Whereas the trainer, which is me, I'm taking in consideration many other things, your attendance, but not the software. The software that is being audited by someone is just looking at that particular answer. That's why I need you to tell me, yes, I know, yes, I have the skills. Why? So why? How you can provide evidence? Santi, because I worked in a company and something like that happened to me. And when I was working in that company, I screwed up and I had an issue with my manager because I didn't pay attention. And this is something that from me is really important now. I will not do the same ever again. I learned from that situation. I learned from that mistake. Beautiful. You are giving me what happened to you. You are giving me what happened to you at that particular workplace situation. But you may say, Santi, I don't have work experience. I don't have work. How can I provide something like that? Do not provide something like that then. Just tell me, Santi, I have the skills and knowledge now because I learned from your class that we need to know what is the target audience, what is the geographic location of our advertisements, the radius, the reach, before we publish something. Okay, cool. You are using what you learn in the class. And that is amazing. That's great. Thanks for that sort of answers. But also, you may say, Santi, I read a book, or I went to a YouTube channel, and this is the link to that YouTube channel, and they are talking about something related to this question, and this is what I believe. And this is the link. Oh, cool. You know what I mean? Santi, I talked to my colleague, or I talked to my classmate, with friends, and we discussed, we debated about it, and we learned from our different perspectives that there is a lot of things for us still to learn when it comes to this particular question. We will continue, but at this point, we know ABC. That's what I mean, guys. You need to provide me with stories that allow me to mark you as competent. Don't forget about that. So give me your best for those questions. So let's go to the question number 1 of the observation, please. What is the question number 1?
Does the student have skills and knowledge to identify legal, ethical, and organizational frameworks related to task requirements?
All right. So do you have those skills to identify legal, ethical, and organizational policies? How do you identify them? If you go to a new company, what you need to ask? How do you identify them? Tell me, someone.
So what is paramount is to make a research about the legal policies of each country, each company, and each locations. So after doing the research, we need to apply those rules to our campaigns.
Okay, that could be the case for a company that is not well governed. You need to do the research. But in a well-governed company, you ask your manager, what is the policy for the social media? What is the social media policy of this company, boss? What is the website publications policy, boss? You know what I mean? What is the communications and marketing policy? What is the warranty policy, boss? Your boss, your supervisor, should have those policies. And probably not on paper, you know what I mean? But probably your manager will tell you, go to the intranet and go to the policies and procedures folder, and the policy will be there. That's what I mean. The company has the policy. So that's what I need you to tell me. I need you to tell me, Santi, I know how important is this. When I start working in a new company, one of the first things that I will do when I start, working for that company is going to my boss and ask him, where is the social media policy, boss? See, if you answer to me like that, then I understand that you will do something like that in the future. Good. All right. Another way to answer this question, you may tell me, Santi, look, policies, they are very difficult to change. Like policies are not in rock, are not written in rock, but for a policy to be changed, all the company directors need to agree. You understand that? You need forum. You need the company board to, because the policy is not a document to be changed as we do a new business plan. You understand what I mean? Business plans are very dynamic. Business plans go like this, but the policy go extremely slow. So for this to be changed, you need to have a quorum, marketing or a functional, a legal, human resources directors, all of them, they should agree on that policy to be changed. So you tell me, Santi, that's a very difficult thing to change. But the processes, the procedures for that policy to be executed could be improved. Could be improved. So what is the procedure? The procedure is telling us what to do if we have an issue, if we have a situation with that policy, we are breaking that policy, what we need to do. If that situation is happening, what we need to do. Crisis management. Like some companies, they have crisis management policies. Someone died in the company is being sued, the company is having, legal problems. What is the response of the company? How the company will be managing that crisis? Some companies have a policy for that. The policy is difficult to change. The procedures could be optimized. So something that used to take 80 steps now can take 40 steps. And that's what I know about this particular question, Santi. Good. So you are providing an answer from the question itself, understanding what is the importance of that question. All right, question number 2. Question number 2, does the student have the skills and knowledge to identify existing electronic advertising methods, according to task requirements? So what does it mean? When you go to a company, you need to ask them, hey, what advertising methods are you using now? Oh, yes, Santi, we are using Google Ads. All right, Google Ads. So you take note of it. We are using Facebook ads. All right. We are using Netflix. We are advertising in Netflix because it's perfect for our target market, Netflix. All right, good. You take note. Or we are using banners. We are using other websites that are very, they are visited by our target market, and they go there, they see our pop ad, and we bring traffic to our site. Beautiful. So that's what I need you to tell me for that particular question, that you have the capability to ask. What is the question? Hey, boss, hey, supervisor, hey, director, what social media channels do you have? How do you advertise on them? Do we use Google Ads? Yes or no? Why this is so important, guys? Because those first few weeks in the new marketing department are very important, because if you don't demonstrate that you know marketing, believe me, that will be the end of your reputation in that marketing department. From that moment on, you are in the coloring department. You are supporting events. You are supplying flyers. You are, that's not what I want for you guys. What I want for you guys is to do pretty well with this, which means that you get medium level kind of work, management, supervisor, something like that. So you work with the marketing and business plan together, and you demonstrate that you know, so you get to lead that marketing department sooner greater than later. That's what we need. If we don't evolve, what is the point of studying? We are studying this in order to make more money. when it comes to our retribution, our salary. Of course, we need to change workplaces, because if we don't change workplaces, our salary will not increase. But if we change, if we evolve, if we hunt for good employers, better. If we don't want to do this, no problem. But the other option is entrepreneurship, is you having your own business, which is also very good too. But you need to take one or the other. I mean, if you really want, because you are not doing the marketing program to feel fine, to have a good time. No, you are doing the marketing program to make money. That's it. This is not a cooking program, isn't it? So we are not doing this in order to, we're doing this to make money. So the question is trying to find out that. Question number 3. Does the student have the skills and knowledge to select media? So how you select media for electronic advertisements? How you select media? I told you. Do you have the budget to pay for that media? Is your advertisement frequency and duration aligned to the functionality of that social media, of that platform? What the competition is doing. Remember that I told you about that. You need to find out what the competition is doing in social media too. For you to what? For you to minimize. Do you remember that I told you that you need to minimize the impact of your competitors' advertisements? You cannot delete them. But if you can use it to your advantage, if you can use it to your advantage, that is another level. That is another level. That's what I don't know if you notice, like companies like Casio and Renault taking advantage to what happened in the entertainment industry in Spain a few months ago. You need to be ready for that, to understand what is happening in the market. So that is what that question is trying to find out.
Yep.
Which is, are you proactive or not? Are you placing the decisions in terms of data, or you making the decisions only based on your personal arguments? So that's what we need to do. Like, if a business is not using TikTok, I need to know why not. If a business is not using YouTube, I need to know why not, because it's very hard to understand. If a student is not using YouTube, I need to know why, because it's very hard to understand. That's if a student doesn't know how to do a website, but the student knows how to do a Word or Excel document and not the website content management system, I need to know why. Because it looks like the student stopped, in the 2000s. We need to play with the tools of the moment. And what are the tools of the moment? Software. That's it. It's not about if we like it or not. It's about understanding that digital is very accessible to people. People love the apps. People love the fluency of websites that are fluid for mobile phones applications. People like those big menus and that simplicity of the application. People like that. They don't say it, but they act on that liking. They buy more, they follow more, and so on. So we need to do that. We need to at least try that. All right. Very important to understand the marketing platform and why we need to include the marketing platform in our marketing nowadays. Question number 4, does the student have the skills and knowledge to select e-marketing for advertisements? And this is the one that we did. Okay, now this one is against the organizational policy. All right. Of course, we talk about that. The organizational policy is what we can do, what we cannot do. So if that social media platform goes against our marketing ethical policies, of course, we cannot use Patreon, or we cannot use OnlyFans. But we need to understand that there is a reason for us not to use it, which is organizational policy. The previous question was about the strategy, the marketing strategy. Everything that we do at digital level is supporting the marketing strategy, which is supporting the business model, which is supporting the vision of the company, isn't it? So everything is highly connected. All right, question number 5. Does the student have skills and knowledge to use e-marketing according to e-marketing objectives? E-marketing objectives. So let's talk about objectives for a little bit. What is a marketing objective? Quickly. Anybody understands what is a marketing objective? What is the difference with the marketing task? What is the difference of the marketing objective with the company's vision?
It is
What?
aligned with the strategy of the company.
All right, give me more. Explain to me that more. Vale.
The objective just go with the line the company has already in the general strategy.
Correct, correct. So when you achieve all marketing objectives, at that very moment, you achieve the company's vision, which is totally aligned with the strategy. 100% correct. So the marketing objectives have to be connected to the strategy, which is helping us to achieve that vision. So we talk about the strategies, remember, market penetration, new market, new product, or diversification. Those are the strategies that we have available in marketing, isn't it? Really.
Yes.
Like, this is important. Like, if you remember that, then you talk in the language. So when in marketing in Australia, when you talk about marketing, you're not talking about social media, you're not talking about advertisements. That are tactics, or those are tactics. Strategies are related to what we do in the next period. What is our dynamic in the next period? Is it launching a new product? Is it launching our current product in a new market? It's about doing both of them. It's about not doing anything. It's about not changing the product, not changing the market. What is that strategy? Our marketing objectives then should be connected for us to launch that new product, for us to launch that new market. Whatever is the strategy selection will dictate what will be the marketing objectives. Well done. Now, for the marketing objectives, what I need you guys to remember, all of them should have a deadline. All of them. There is no marketing objective, listen up, without a deadline. There is no such a thing. So always a deadline. What is the day and the month and the year that marketing objective will be achieved? If you don't do that, it's not a good marketing objective. Is the business plan, the marketing plan that nobody will read, that will be in a drawer, that is just bureaucracy, which is not what we do. We do marketing plans that will help the company to achieve its vision. All right? Cool. So let's go to the question number 6. Do you have the skills and knowledge to confirm that the e-marketing meets all the task specifications? This is what I told you. Do you have the skills to ask your manager, your supervisor, your stakeholders, your legal department, find out the competitive analysis, find out the legal framework? Do you have the skill to do that? So you may say, yes, in the class, we talk a lot about that. We talk about, I need to know what is the implications of my advertising to the people within the company, the implications of my advertising to the people in the public, the implication of my advertising to my suppliers and partners and my competitors. Remember that I told you that? That question is asking for that. It's asking for that. So give me that. Give me that, because it is important for the Australian government to fulfill the need of the industry. So what is the need in the industry? That you have the skills, the knowledge to ask stakeholders before you publish your online advertisement. That's what I need you to tell me. That give me a micro story, give me an experience that you have had, tell me about what happened to Jack in the case study, or about one of these case studies that we used. Question number 7. Does the student have the skills and knowledge to present electronic advertisement on e-marketing platforms, to manage, from management to finalization. So do you understand that you need to use e-marketing platforms? Yes, Santi, because I can compare the results of all campaigns with coming campaigns and then with future campaigns. And then I will have a 360 view of my marketing. And that's why I need to use an online marketing platform like HubSpot. Thank you. Good answer. Or you will tell me, Santi, I understand now that I need a marketing platform. So I am a professional, a marketing professional. For me to feel well, for me to feel like I am a really good marketing practitioner, I use a marketing platform. You know what I mean? It's like if you are a driver, a sports car driver, you know, you want to have a good car. You want to have a machine that will reflect your skills. And then you end in the Formula One. And then you end winning the world championship because there is a combination of resources, people, technology, processes, and talent that will get that result, that will give us that result. The same for us. We need to understand, guys, please pay attention that if you work in a company, the company needs to provide a marketing platform to you. If they don't do it and the marketing does not advance, it's not your fault. It's the company's fault. They don't have vision. Still, you need to propose projects so they wake up and they understand that there is a business case for you to improve the business operation using marketing platforms. Extremely, I am telling you guys how important is this. I will give you this link one more time. Just give me 1 second, please, guys. There is a business case that was published. I already told you about this previous classes, but please read it. Please read it because that link is my story using HubSpot for a large multinational in Australia. And the results were so impressive, mate, were so crazy high that this company that is from Boston, Massachusetts, they published a business case about what I did in that company with that platform.
I think we saw it one time. Yeah.
But now it's in context.
It showed us.
You know what I mean? Now we have the context, which is we're talking about this as I speak. And I need you guys to understand that if you don't use platforms, then you need to propose the use of those platforms. Is that clear? What you cannot do is just to forget about it or just to pretend that you never heard about this, because that is your responsibility. All right, cool. Question number 8. Do you have the skills and knowledge to monitor the transmission of electronic advertisements and rectify errors or omissions? So do you have the skills? Yes. Why? Because you have a system that will tell you when the advertising was published, how many days it has been published, how many people have clicked on that advertisement, how many people have visited the landing page after that advertisement, how many people have filled the form in that landing page for that advertisement, how many people have bought our products and services because of that advertisement that took people to the landing page, that gave us the information about that customer that ultimately we serve to the point of that customer buying from us. That is what the marketing technology and information should provide to you. That's what you will be using to report. That information will be the baseline of your storyline when you report, when you talk to your stakeholders and bosses. You don't want to present graphics and data and things like that. No, you don't want to do that, eh, guys? Because that's how they get bored. You use that information for you to build a short story about your company that people will understand in simple words. That's what you need to do. It's not about reports. It's not about dynamic reports. It's not about colors. It's not about, you know, fashion. It's not about this aesthetics of it. It's about if people will remember that once they leave that room. They leave that room and they remember what was the key message of that presentation. That is because your micro story is more effective than the data in terms of numbers and percentages. People forget numbers and percentages. People don't forget the stories they relate to. So tell me a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about that process from publishing until the point that somebody buys from you. I want you to tell me about this process. Don't forget it. Advertisement first. After advertisement, what do you have? You have a landing page. In the landing page, what do you have? What do you have in the landing page? You have the form. What information is collecting the form? Data.
Email.
Data that you use to tune, to finesse your coming communications that ultimately will convert visitors to customers. I need you guys to tell me about that. That is the inbound process that I explained to you. Inbound method, just Google it. Just Google it and you will find, you know, like it's extremely important that you get familiar with this website. I need you guys seriously to just search HubSpot inbound. HubSpot inbound. Let's go to images. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I need you guys seriously to remember this. You attract strangers with your social media post, with the keywords that you have connected in your website, with your social publishing. You attract people. That's why social media is so important. YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, because that is how you attract people. But that is just the beginning of it. Once you attract those people, you want them to be visitors. Visitors to what? Visitors to your website, guys, to your landing pages. They click on those call to actions in your advertisements, and they get to the form of your website that is collecting data, email, name, so on, so on. You need to use that data, and then you have a lead. What is a lead? You have something. You have something in your hands. You're leading that relationship. You understand what I mean? You're leading that relationship because you have data. You're careful with it, yes, but now you have data. If you're patient, you can convert that customer. It may take months, but if you're patient, you can convert that lead to what? To a customer. But for you to do that, you need CRM systems, customer relationship management systems, marketing systems. You need some processes, some workflows, some policies for you to do this. If you can have customers, what you need to do? Customer service afterward. You need to nurture that relationship so they become promoters. When you have a promoter, that is success, that is marketing success. You have publicity. Remember that we talk about publicity and how important it is? That's what you get. So guys, marketing guys, you need to know this. That is the secret there. Seriously, if you know how to do this, plus the Boston Consulting Group matrix that we discussed, plus the marketing strategy that we discussed, market penetration, product diversification, and so on, and so on, you start, behaving, talking like a marketing professional, find a job in that area or develop your own business. All right, beautiful. So that's what I need. Give me a link to that, copy that image and answer with that image and explain to me that image. You can answer that like that question like that too. What is the next question, please? Next question, fellas. We almost there? All right. So next question, anyone? Or should we have a break?
I can read it. If the student has the skills and knowledge to evaluate e-marketing advertisements effectively.
What question is that one? What number?
Wait, we are number 8 or number 9?
Number 9.
Number 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 9. Does the student have skills and knowledge to evaluate e-marketing advertisements against measures of effectiveness and record outcomes according to organizational requirements? That's the question. 9.
All right. So we're talking about KPIs here in this question. We're talking about key performance indicators. We need to evaluate. So we prepare for e-marketing first. We prepare our knowledge. We prepare our processes. Then we did the e-marketing, but now we're talking about how we evaluate the e-marketing. So for us to evaluate the e-marketing, we need to use KPIs. What is a KPI? A key performance indicator. So a good way to answer this question is explaining what a KPI. Santi, key performance indicators, we use them to measure the effectiveness of our marketing. Example of a KPI, please.
Conversion rate.
Conversion rate. Being conversion rate, perhaps the most important one, isn't it? Out of the customers, out of the leads in the database, how many people convert to customers, from leads to customers? That is extremely important. What is the result of your campaign? That is the conversion rate. That is fantastic. Another KPI, Samuel?
Where I work, we use also the foot traffic. Then for the CIM, we use the, what was the name? We, after making a sale, we need to send a message. So on the phones, we can see how many people have seen the message, how many people have read the message, and how many people have replied back to the message.
Fantastic.
So we hold all the information.
All right. So Samuel is talking about delivery rates. How many people is being delivered with our message, advertising, email, whatever is the case. So the delivery rate. Imagine that you have 100 contacts in your database and 100 people receive the email. What is the delivery rate, please?
100%.
You have 100%. So that delivery rate is telling us that your database is clean, that your database is up to date. In Australia, if your delivery rate is below 70%, that is really, really bad. Like really, really, really bad. Like that means that you may be buying databases. That may means that you don't manage databases, that you don't clean them. That may means that you are not a good marketing manager. Do you understand what I mean? So a delivery rate below 70% is not your friend. A delivery rate of 90, 95, that's really good. A delivery rate of 100%, you are genius. You are really conscious about how important it is to have a clean database in the company. All right, that's the delivery rate. The opening rate, how many people is opening, is clicking on that banner ad, is clicking on that email campaign, newsletter. So how many people is biting the CTA, the call to action? How many people is actually, opening that communication? That is important. That is the opening rate. Then you have the click-through rate. That is extremely important. What is the click-through rate or CTR rate?
The rate that measures how many people clicks or enter to the link or whatever.
Yeah. How many people actually click on that CTA, call to action? That is super good because it may not mean a sale yet, but very close to it. Very close to it. So click-through rates are very, very important for us. And finally, which is what Samuel was saying, the conversion rate. which is how many people actually is now a customer. They were converted, like in religion. You know what I mean? Great. That's what that question is all about. It's about KPIs. We need to measure our performance for us to add that information to the software so we can compare previous campaigns with current campaigns and predict results of future campaigns. We have to do that in the marketing department. We need to, if you, Santi, these results were amazing. Against what, Samuel? Against previous campaigns? Okay, all right. I got it now. But you cannot tell me the campaign is fantastic. Against which previous campaign? Ah, okay. You have 10% increase in conversion rates. That is really good. You have 1%. Same thing, mate. So we need to talk that language there, please.
Okay.
Question number 10, and with that we finish. Do you have the skills and knowledge to improve in marketing strategies? So how do you improve?
By reading the previous performance.
Yep.
Then applying any change.
Correct. So we read previous performances and we improve and tune coming campaigns using that information, that data. That is what we do. We do reverse engineering. We break down the previous campaign into little pieces and we find which is the weakest link, which is the weakest process, which is the weakest concept of that e-marketing campaign. We remove it. I don't know, we do something about that. That means that our coming campaign will be better and so on and so on and so on, which means that at one point, our marketing will be seamless. What is a good marketing? When you don't need to sell. When people go to you, you don't need to go to them. But that is the result of years of work on that particular area. When you have customers that are servicing themselves, when they are asking for the product, you are not promoting the product. When they are subscribed to our services, so you have a yearly subscription, that means that you have a very mature marketing. That's what I mean. People trust you in the long term. People believe in your systems. People believe that you have security and safety in your website. People believe that you have good warranty processes. People believe that your brand represents what they want. People give value to what you do at social level, you know, how you employ people, how you treat people, how you pay people. So you have a reputation in the market. And when all of this is working simultaneously, then we have a good marketing. Message of the class. E-marketing communications are not optional. However, it's all about being distinct. It's about being different. You know, in a seamless sea of color and branding, you need to be different to be highlighted in that very competitive market. I invite you to be, I don't know, creative with your marketing. Try to use a sonic branding. Try to give a sound to your brand. Try to do that in your marketing department. If your brand doesn't have a sound, think about what sound is your brand. How does your brand sounds like? I need to know that. You need to know that. So work on that, but also work on having systems that will help you with your marketing to automate processes. Also work with reports, with analytics. You need to compare previous data with current data. And finally, work with your legal department. They need to be your friends in this journey of e-marketing communications. We do not publish before we have the thumbs up from our supervisors and managers. All right. So thank you, guys. I hope that you have received enough value from this e-marketing communications class. And now you have submitted the lesson. Now you have submitted the online quiz. You need to tune probably your observation a little bit. If you have a doubt, if you need extra help, just get a one-to-one meeting with me so we work on those items that you don't understand. Thank you, guys. I will see you next class then.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
I will
bye-bye.
see you next class.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you.